Hello everyone! And welcome. It is a rainy day here in Manila, but that's all right. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome to the show. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Anytime is a good time because it's mo fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. It is super rainy today indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like it's one of those days wherein you really feel you know what, yung tag-init is not here anymore. It was nice, it was chilly, it was hard to get up.
It's bed weather. And soup weather, lugaw weather.
I'm running straight to my bed right after the show again.
Same.
And you know what, I'm happy that it's kind of a slow day for me. So hopefully that all works out. But it's not going to be a slow show because we got a lot to talk about.
We have another jam-packed show for you guys. We have Superman.
Superman is in the building!
Literally, we have Superman in the building. Who else do we have?
Of course, we have Snow Badua coming in also. So sports fans would know who he is. He's going to be talking about a bit of a promotion for a show coming up here in the Bilyonaryo News Channel. And of course, we also have Weather HQ later on where we're going to talk about the second nationwide earthquake drill.
Oh,
because
much needed.
Yeah, always.
Because you never know when the big one's gonna hit. It's kind of scary.
Tapos we have our favorite
My
segment.
favorite, love hacks always.
Akala ko Master Hands.
Ay, iba
No,
pala yun.
yeah.
We have two different favorites pala. No, both are favorites.
Yeah. And so I normally do not go through the script for love hacks.
Did you go through it?
No, I didn't, but they flashed it right now as a prompter. And the topic is...
Oh, I just saw it too.
Yeah, no, and I'm super
anything.
curious. No, you can say it now because...
I don't want to pull an N and spoil it.
No, you're not going to spoil anything.
Can we spoil it? Okay, fine.
We have no idea what it is.
This is our topic, falling for your gay best friend.
Ooh.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's so interesting,
I can't wait to hear what Coach V has to say for that.
That is really, I haven't had the pleasure of falling for a gay best friend, but I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, so you guys have to tune in to Love Hacks to find out all the tips and tricks Coach V has for you. But with the rain, is there traffic this morning?
We'll find out.
Let's find out. Let's check the situation in major roads at this hour. What's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue right now? The flyover on the left side of your vehicles are going to Quiapo and traffic is slowly building up. On the right side are lanes going to Quezon Memorial Circle, and that is still free flowing. Now let's take a look at EDSA White Plains. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard, and it is still free flowing. It is building up a bit. And on the right side are for vehicles going to Cubao, and as you can see, it is very, very nice to go to Cubao right now. There's no traffic at all. Heads up to motorists, the expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's Wednesday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 5 and 6 should be off the road right about now till 10 a.m. and again from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Let's find out what the weather's going to be like this Wednesday. Paolo has today's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thank you so much, Mo. Let's take a look at what weather systems are affecting the country today, where there are two. The first is the Intertropical Convergence Zone, which is currently bringing unstable weather conditions over here in Mindanao. Now, at the same time, the easterly winds are influencing the weather over in Luzon and in Visayas. Now, this will result in increased cloudiness and possible rainfall. Let's go on first through to Luzon. Now, the easterlies are causing mostly cloudy skies along with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over in Kalinga in Mountain Province, Ifugao, Benguet, Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, Pangasinan, Central Luzon, Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Oriental Mindoro, and Marinduque. Now, residents in these areas should be on alert for possible localized flooding and lightning strikes. Now, in northern Luzon, including the rest of the Ilocos region, Cordillera Administrative Region, and the Cagayan Valley, as well as in the Visayas, the easterlies will continue to produce partly cloudy skies throughout the day, with possible isolated rain showers or thunderstorms mainly in the afternoon or in the evening. Now, over down south in Mindanao, the Intertropical Convergence Zone will lead to cloudy skies accompanied by scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over in Surigao del Sur, Davao Oriental, Davao Occidental, Sarangani, Sultan Kudarat, and over in Tawi-Tawi. Now, for the rest of the country, you can expect partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with possibility of isolated rain showers or thunderstorms in the late afternoon or in the evening. Now, this is all due to localized thunderstorm activity. So that's the weather for the rest of the country there. Now, as for our sea conditions, Pag-asa says there are no gale warnings in effect anywhere in the country at this time despite the two weather systems. Winds will be light to moderate and sea heights will vary between 0.6 to 1.8 meters. Fishermen and all those planning to go out to sea are advised to keep updated with the latest weather reports because waves can get higher during thunderstorms in particular. Safety should always be the highest priority when sailing in coastal waters. That is it for Weather HQ at the moment. Mo, back to you.
Thank you, Paolo, for that weather update.
Vice President Sara be dismissed.
On to our top stories. Vice President Sara Duterte assembles 16 defense lawyers for her impeachment trial. That's a formidable legal wall never seen before in the history of impeachment in the Philippines. The law firm Fortune, Narvasa and Salazar officially announced its representation of the VP. The team is a mix of senior names, family legacies, and young lawyers. VP Sara faces 7 articles of impeachment, including graft and corruption and constitutional violation. The court is now waiting for formal filings from both defense and prosecution. The VP has been issued summons and is given 10 days to respond.
Attorney Antonio Bucoy, the spokesperson for the House prosecution team, criticized the Senate in his first media appearance, accusing it of acting inappropriately in the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. He further said that if former Senators Lorenzo Tañada, Jose Diokno, and Joker Arroyo were still alive, they would be ashamed of the Senate's current actions.
Ikahihiya nila itong ginagawa ng kasalukuyang Senado. Calling a spade a spade. Kasi po, iba yung komposisyon nun eh. Iba. Umaani ng respeto. Walang patutsada. Ngayon ho, dahil sa actuation nila, aming patutsada.
He reminded the senator judges of their oath to be fair in the trial and said the House is studying proposals to recuse senators who are allies of Duterte. Bucoy also warned senators about a gag order on making public statements about the impeachment case once the trial begins.
A constitutional overreach. That's how former Supreme Court Chief Justice and PhilConSA Chairman Renato Puno Jr. describes the Senate's remand order on the impeachment articles against Vice President Sara Duterte. Puno believes the move was intended to stall the process and keep the impeachment trial in limbo.
It's to me, and this is the view of other experts also. It's a procedural overreach. Cannot be justified under the Constitution. Cannot be justified under their own rules. Since February, I think the articles have been forwarded to the Senate. And so February and now it's already June. And the trial, the hearing of the case has not been started. The defendant has not been summoned. She has not filed her answer yet. And the effect of this remand order is to put the jurisdiction of the impeachment court in suspension, in limbo.
When asked if pro-Duterte senator judges should inhibit from the trial, Puno says that decision rests on the senators themselves, in line with their duty to uphold the principle of impartiality.
what would be terrible that could happen here is, let us hypothetically say, that the impeachment court proceeds to its decision. It's a correct decision, but because of the lack of inhibition by the senators, judges themselves, their credibility is eroded. It's a correct decision, but would not be believed by the public. That would be a terrible consequence.
Outcome, yes.
The worst scenario may be, the people may resolve this case using their own power. In other words, justice here may be fought out in our streets, and that would be a scenario that we should by all means avoid.
In the second episode of the BBM Vlogs, President Marcos has a message for government officials lacking in their commitment to serve the people.
If you're not helping get out of the way, okay? Kung di mo kami tutulungan, basta malis ka na lang dito. Gawin mo yung gusto mong gawin, pero pabayaan mo kami magtrabaho. That's my attitude all the time. So, whatever get out of the way means you're fired or may floating ka.
In the 3 years since assuming his post, the president confirmed he has fired several officials due to lackluster performance, saying that there are government officials who boast of accomplishments without tangible proof.
At any level of government, it's very different to receive, makatanggap ka ng report na sasabihin, natapos namin yung project, ganito yung ginastos namin, may picture na maganda. Pero pag pinuntahan mo, iba.
And the latest on his cabinet reshuffle, Jay Ruiz remains acting secretary of the Presidential Communications Office. A reliable source tells BNC that none of the president's candidates for the position have accepted the offer.
5 days after being appointed as head of strategic and interagency communications, Senior Undersecretary Annalisa Puod resigned from the Presidential Communications Office. In her resignation letter, Puod cited untenable conditions under the current PCO leadership, though it's unclear if the president has accepted her resignation. Palace Press Officer Claire Castro confirmed Puod's exit, while Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin said Luis remains acting PCO secretary, leaving the position for secretary officially open. Meantime, the palace accepted the courtesy resignation of 17 other PCO officials, leaving all their posts vacant.
Expelled Congressman Arnie Teves is set to undergo an appendectomy at the Philippine General Hospital, according to his legal counsel. Appendectomy is a surgery to remove an infected appendix before it ruptures. Teves was first hospitalized on Tuesday after experiencing severe stomach pain. He remains a high-profile detainee facing murder and terrorism charges, among others. Meanwhile, Congresswoman-elect Janice Digamo claims Teves is only faking his condition to delay justice.
The PNP says that the opening of the new school year was generally peaceful throughout the country. Students made it to school and back home safely, an achievement attributed to cooperation between multiple agencies, police, teachers, and parents. Police General Nicolas Torre III even did a personal inspection of Ramon Magsaysay High School in Quezon City to ensure security during the second day of classes. Parents welcomed the visit and praised Torre for the close watch being kept on their kids.
46 OFWs were displaced after their homes were destroyed amid the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran. 7 were reported hospitalized by a bombing in Israel, with 5 of them already discharged. The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration says the remaining 2 are already in stable condition, but 1 will undergo surgery. Out of the 150 OFWs seeking a repatriation from Israel, 10 have returned to the Philippines, while 26 are expected to come home by the weekend. One of the ways the Department of Foreign Affairs is looking into is transporting the OFWs home through Jordan. DFA Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega assures that they will bring them home no matter what.
Meron tayong palaging contingency plan na pwede through ship, through sea, pwedeng dalhin sa Cyprus o sa Greece. Isa pang contingency plan, tulungan ng mga bawat embassy. Kung talagang mass repatriation, mga iba-ibang citizen na yan, nagcha-charter tayo ng buong barko or buong aeroplano. So isa yan. And we're waiting for the advice of our presidents. No? In other words, of our president and our ambassadors, kasi depende yan kung lumala ang gera. Hindi natin inaasahan lumala ang gera. One thing I must say, no, sa Israel, so lagpas 30,000 doon. Sa experience natin yan, they are veterans, alam na nila yung situation. Mm-hmm. Pangalawa, kahit na ba may bomba na tumatama noon, very few ang nagsasabing uwi. Remember, umuwi na tayo, nagre-repatriate na tayo ng Filipinos, not since recently, since October 2023. Doon nag-umpisa yung alitan sa Gaza, between Gaza and Israel. And so marami tayong inuwi. We could have brought home unti-unti ilang libo, pero wala pa yata 2,000 nakauwi since October 2023. So they want to stay there.
De Vega said there are much lesser OFWs in Iran. Only 14 of them have asked for repatriation so far.
Now on to world news. Experts warn that the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran could affect the global oil market and spike the price of goods in the Philippines. That's amid worries on the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of global oil supply is transported.
So if they close that, there'll be a shortage and therefore prices will go up. So we will get hit by a double whammy of higher coal prices, and of course that will mean higher, higher coal and fuel prices. So it's a little scary. It will be hard for us countries that are very oil and coal dependent.
From $63 to $64 per barrel, oil price has increased to $72 the past days since the Israel-Iran conflict began. Experts say this figure could go up to $80 if the strife does not end soon. More world news for you. Explosions could be seen in the skies over Tel Aviv, Israel, as the Israel-Iran war rages on. Explosions were reported in Tehran and the city of Isfahan in central Iran, while Israel said Iran fired more missiles late on Tuesday and early Wednesday. U.S. President Donald Trump called on Tuesday for Iran's unconditional surrender and warned U.S. patience was wearing thin, but said there was no intention to kill Iran's leader for now. G7 countries convene in Canada for the G7 summit in the backdrop of multiple tensions across the globe. The G7 wealthy nations struggle to find unity over the conflict in Ukraine. That's after U.S. President Donald Trump expressed support for Russian President Vladimir Putin and has imposed tariffs on many of the allies present. Canada holds the rotating G7 presidency this year. Other members include Germany, Japan, United Kingdom, France, Italy, and United States. Trump left the summit on Monday for Washington after Israel and Iran raised risks of broader regional conflict.
Over in sports, change is coming to the Philippine Football Federation as Freddy Gonzalez steps down as the director of the men's and women's national teams. In a statement, Gonzalez says he made the tough decision to step away to focus on personal and professional pursuits. Still, he calls his time with the national team one of the biggest honors of his life. Gonzalez also thanked all the players for their sacrifices and commitment, saying they've helped shift the culture of Philippine football and that leading them was a privilege. He took on the role in January last year and oversaw a major rebrand of the men's national team, including the retirement of the famous Ascal's name. Gonzalez's exit also follows the resignation of head coach Albert Capellas in May, who led the squad to a semifinal finish in the 2024 ASEAN Mitsubishi Electric Cup. From the pitch, let's go to the tennis court. It's on to the next for Filipino star Alex Ayala after a first-round exit at the Nottingham Open. The women's world number 77 lost to 31st ranked Magda Linette of Poland on Tuesday. Ayala reached the main draw after scoring back-to-back wins in the qualifying round. The Rafa Nadal Academy graduate is preparing for her main draw debut at Wimbledon later this month. And over in the NBA Finals, the championship is within reach for the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC took a commanding 3-2 series lead after a 120-109 victory over the Indiana Pacers in Game 5 of the Finals. A 10-zip blitz in the fourth gave the Thunder a double-digit lead down the stretch. Jalen Williams dropped 40 points while Shai Gilgeous-Alexander added 31 and 10 assists. Indiana's do-or-die Game 6 is on Friday morning, Philippine time.
My teammates instill a lot of confidence in me and go out and be me. Mark's done a good job of telling me just be myself. I don't got to be anything more, and that's given me a lot of confidence.
Now in entertainment, Brad Pitt and Formula One drivers take over New York's Times Square for the premiere of F1 the movie. The film stars Brad Pitt as an F1 driver who comes out of retirement to save a struggling racing team. Pitt and his co-star Damson Idris drove actual Formula One cars, to which Idris says street racing is boring now. Parts of the film were also shot during real F1 events in Abu Dhabi, Mexico City, and other Grand Prix stops for that authentic Formula One feel. Movie buffs and racing fans can catch the film in theaters starting June 25. Filipino Broadway icon and Tony Award winner Lea Salonga took center field as she sang the Star-Spangled Banner at a New York Yankees game. Her performance was shared by the Yankees on social media, where fans praised her powerful rendition. In the caption, the Yankees mentioned Salonga's current Broadway show, Sondheim's Old Friends. Just days earlier, the singer graced the Tony Awards red carpet and served as one of the presenters.
It feels like New York's her second home, just
Literally.
because of the fact that she has made so much history there on Broadway.
I'm obsessed. I grew up listening to Lea Salonga, and I actually wanted to do musical theater before growing up, listening to her.
And why didn't you?
Because I don't have her talent. So, here na lang ako. I'm happy here,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I'm obsessed with Lea Salonga. When she came here, I went to go watch her.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I wanted to cry because it's Princess Jasmine in the flesh. and
I
Mulan.
remember. No, I mean, like she's just so iconic. I mean, like growing up, listening to her music, her recordings, especially from Miss Saigon
Yeah,
to Les Mis, obviously, to all of the anniversary concerts, to what she's doing right now, and
Right.
being a legit Disney princess.
Oh, I'm obsessed. She's literally my favorite. So Lea, if you're watching, I'm gonna pull an Ann. Please guest on our show because I'm your biggest fan. And her voice doesn't change.
Yeah.
It gets better and better, I swear.
Yeah, it's just like fine wine. And can I just say, like Sondheim, what she's the show that she's a
Yeah.
part of right now. It's tough music, and it's really, really interesting to check out.
Well, if anybody can do it, it's Lea.
Her, for sure. Now, moving on, later on in the show, after a quick break, veteran sports journalist Snow Badua is ready to bring his hard-hitting style with a brand new show on the Bilyonaryo News Channel this month. The host of Snow Bomb joins us live right here after the break on It's a Beautiful Day. We'll be right back, don't go away. Welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Our guest today is known for calling it like it is, and now he's bringing that same energy to the Bilyonaryo News Channel this month with a brand new show. Joining us live in the studio, the host of the Snow Bomb, Snow Badua. It's a beautiful day. Welcome to the show, Snow.
Hi, good morning guys, and thank you so much for the invitation. Napakaaga pero
Oo nga eh, pero sanay ka naman eh.
yeah.
Yeah.
No English, okay?
Oh no.
Hindi,
Okay,
kaya
I'm
yan.
gonna leave na. Kayo na lang.
Hindi, kaya niya yan. But then, Snow, first off, for those wondering, medyo namamaga namaga yung mata ni Snow.
Yeah.
That's why naka-shade siya.
Namboso ako eh.
My goodness.
I'm a peeping Tom. No, just kidding.
But of course, Snow Bomb coming to the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Can you give us an idea kung ano yung konsepto ng show na to?
This is still the same concept ng isang newscast, no? Although it's sports. But basically, it's a sports magazine wherein we will have sports updates, no, and behind the scenes information about your favorite sports icons. And apart from that, meron tong segment kung saan yung mga players, no, that we idolize na may problem with their contracts and sa kanilang mga teams or whatever, no, they can always approach us, no, so we can help them fix yung mga problems nila.
What do you think sets Snow Bomb, your new show, apart from other typical sports shows?
I think it's gonna be fast-paced, and then it's going to be no holds barred, no? As people know me, and it's going to be really different. No? It's since we're at Bilyonaryo, no, it's going to be raise the bar of sportscasting, no? And yeah, it's going to be no sugarcoating.
Yeah.
As it's at its
Just tell
finest.
them how it is.
Yeah, like tell all. And of course, well, sikat ka sa social media because
Hindi naman.
because of your yung approach mo to sports journalism. And I just want to know kung may aspect ba of social media that will play into yung content mo in terms of yung show mo and the way that you present it.
Yeah. Ako kasi I don't try to pretend to be somebody else. And I speak what I feel and what I believe should be relate to the public. So siguro yung social media aspect ko kasi is medyo harsh talaga, di ba? Medyo matalim. But of course, this is newscast, no? We're with Bilyonaryo. No, it's a prestigious network, and we're continue to grow. So iba naman siguro yung social media personality ko from the newscast.
And who would you say your target audience are going to be for this show?
Basically, Bilyonaryo, initially, our target audience is AB crowd, right? So with this program, we'll try to attract yung CDE crowd and combine it with our initial target audience.
Yeah. Siyempre, trying to bring in more of a crowd. At the same time, sikat ka sa basketball. At least that we also
Band sa basketball.
and we also know that you also covered cycling, you also covered different sports.
Basketball, boxing, yeah.
Boxing as well. Can we expect more sports or will you have a
Definitely,
focus?
it's going to be a smorgasbord, no, of sports.
Wow,
no?
what a big word.
Smorgasbord.
Tama ba yung pronunciation?
Tama.
Hindi kasi when I started out as a sportscaster, no, it's not really basketball, it's not really boxing or those popular sports. No, I really focus on almost all sports kasi it's supposed to be a newscast. It's supposed to be a sports newscast. You just don't dwell on certain disciplines na sikat na eh.
Yeah.
No, we as much as possible we also want to aid. No, we will be focusing on our national athletes as well because you know those players from petang, those players from lone ball, they also need to be shared to the public. Their achievements as well as their failures.
Yeah, we're all excited for your show, and I'm sure a lot of the sports fans are excited to have the show on Bilyonaryo.
Are you sure you're excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna learn Tagalog from your show.
Oh, really?
But can sports fans interact with you?
Yeah,
during your
definitely.
show?
There will be an interaction. No, I started doing live interaction, even before social media came in. That was 2007. You guys were on your Pampers.
Di naman.
No, high school kami.
high school
We were high
naman.
school, yeah.
High school din ako.
Yeah, the thing.
No, kasi it's one of the aspect na gusto nating ituloy, no?
Yeah.
Yung we interact with the people. Like for example, ngayon, yung mga nanonood po, pwede ho namin kayo makausap kasi it's the wave of the future, eh. No?
Yeah.
We're no longer into conventional TV or broadcast na kami lang, no? It's one way, no? This time gusto natin na makita rin yung kanilang feedback. Yeah, your question. I saw you.
Well, and can they suggest topics or guests on the show?
Sure.
So it's gonna be heavily based
So who do you
on
wanna
sports
talk about?
fans. Who do we want to talk about? A lot.
Marami
We'll talk after the show. I
pag-usapan
don't wanna say it on air.
let's not spoil the moment first. Pero when you look at the fact that okay, may interaction doon, there's going to be a lot of Na-mention mo kanina, iba yung persona mo dito compared to what you have
Yeah, of course,
online.
definitely.
Oo.
Iba kasi tayo sa social media, it's us.
Yeah.
diba?
Yeah.
But this time, I'm also representing BNC, so I have to be careful.
And of course, you come into this having yung experience mo. You used to work with PTV in the past
PTV,
also.
sports
You had
radio.
You had TV work as well. How much are you drawing in from yung experiences mo doon in creating yung new show mo?
Actually, when I was with sports radio, it's a government network.
Yeah.
So I was so careful, no, with words I say. PTV, ganun din.
Yeah.
They say I was amiable, no? And then eventually, a lot of things happened. I was banned in the PBA for talking out loud, di ba? And I had some issues with some sports personalities. But you know, that's the way it is, di ba? Hindi ka dapat plastic di ba? You have
Yeah.
to, especially when somebody's not doing his job well.
Yeah.
Di ba, you have to tell him.
Yeah.
No? Masakit, but, you know, something has to be done.
So, sa palagay mo ba, mas honest ka this time around? You
Mas
mentioned
honest
careful kanina eh.
Mas honest and maingat. You know what, di ba, tayo mga broadcast personalities, we know when the mic is on, we know when the
Right.
camera is on us, na kahit gusto mo na magbura, di ba? Napipigilan mo di ba?
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. Because, you know, there are certain restrictions that we are guided by some rules, di ba? And then there are government agencies watching us. So, like I said, no? Boss Hill, Boss Ray, no? Ano tayo? It's going to be a different Snow. I'm bringing back the Snow Badua ng PTV, no? Working for the government station.
Okay.
Well, like you mentioned, you've had your fair shares of controversies and comebacks.
A
So
lot.
what keeps you going in an industry that's so unforgiving?
Actually, I no longer want to be in sports. One. I
Really?
I cannot really move
Pero may
around.
sports show
Pero
ka.
my sport, I know, that's why I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, yeah.
Here. But siguro lang, our bosses here at Bilyonaryo are seeing the potential, di ba? Are seeing the honesty, di ba? And they're looking at the possibility na, di ba, we can also attract the CDE crowd. I'm not saying na I'm into CDE crowd. No, although talagang ako eh. No, wala nga akong pera sa bulsa ngayon. Pero, di ba? That's what it is, di ba? You have to be inclusive.
So, ano yung goal mo? Na-mention mo you want to move on from the sports, from sports journalism. Obviously, it's still there kasi syempre, kung may competency tayo, then we're going to try and make the most out of it. So, what's the next goal that you have in mind to try and spread your wings towards?
Actually, wala na akong goal eh, no? When it comes to sportscasting kasi
Yeah.
I've done it before. No, it's just that siguro I would like to share my knowledge, no, my experience.
Yeah.
No, kasi sa mga nakakaalam, di ba, at nakakapanood at nakakakilala sa akin, I'm banned in the PBA, but I'm still the one breaking the latest developments. No? So, dun mo makikita na I still have connections inside. No? I still have people inside. And people inside still trust me. Although their bosses, no, above them, hate me. Diba, parang ganun. So, it's one of the things that we're going to do sa Snowbomb na hindi kami yung usual na nababasa ninyo. Hindi kami yung usual na nagbibigay sa inyo ng result lang ng mga nangyari. Because everybody knows that. Diba? Yung sports kasi, mas matalino pa yung mga viewers natin. Alam mo yan, Pao? Than us, no? Whether we like it or not. So, yun yung gusto nating i-ano dito.
How do you handle all of that when you get hate and people mad at you? How do you handle that?
In Tagalog? In Tagalog.
Sige, can you translate?
Yung mga haters, kamusta naman sila?
I've been in social media kasi since 2009. You know, I was one of the pioneers na nag-update on social media. I was also one of the pioneers na nag-multimedia, na nagbi-video. Pao, you remember that? Nagbi-video ako, gumagawa ng story for different websites. So, sanay na tayo. No? Although, syempre, nararamdaman din natin yung pain pagka may mga comments ka doon. Pero, that's the way it is. Sanay na tayo.
Just don't
Dapat
internalize
masanay
it.
tayo. Kasi, sabi nila, media, TV is a cruel medium. Di ba? But, social media is the worst.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Naramdaman mo ba yan, Pao?
Yeah, I mean, like, social media is, it could be a minefield, especially kasi at the end of the day, you can't please everyone. Eh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I always tell Pao and our other co-anchor Ann, who's not here, for me, like, haters are my motivators, right? Like, it makes you want to
But
do better.
sometimes it discourages you.
It does, for
It
sure.
frustrates you, di ba? But You have to learn from it.
Yeah.
You can be stronger.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure most experienced that kasi dati, beauty queen, the whole beauty queen.
Daming bashers.
The beauty queen trail, ibang level din yun.
Yeah.
And then, me personally having covered volleyball at the past, minsan, especially when you cover certain teams, some people don't like the way you sound.
Right.
So mga ganon. So may ganon talaga. It's hard to please people.
Ang mahirap sa sports is yung viewers natin, they always think they're better than you. Like what I said a while ago. Diba? Kasi these viewers, especially the sports fans, they read a lot, they watch a lot.
So
And
sometimes they're like
It's-
ahead of you.
Yeah.
I think the right term, at least the term I would use is very emotional yung audience.
Yeah.
Considering yung
They're passionate about
yeah,
their
because
sport.
of the passion of the sports.
Buti na lang I'm not in sports.
Hindi,
So I'll
let's
leave
be
it to
fair.
you.
While din yung sa beauty queen, the whole pageant scene as well. But you mentioned it a while ago na you wanted at least to veer away from just sports. But then the show here is to stay, yung Snow Bomb. Do you have any long-term goals for this? Mga looking a year down the road, 2 years down the road?
Yeah, actually, I'm already busy with some other job that I do. Pero syempre, TV pa rin is my first love, di ba?
Yeah.
Actually, somebody offered me to take up pilot course.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, back then. That was like 2007. One of our guests sa morning show namin. Hindi ko tinanggap.
Oo, sayang.
Kasi nag-enjoy na ako sa broadcast.
Yeah.
No, and kahit na no matter how many times I try to turn my back or turn away from sports, bro, lagi bumabalik eh. Like
Yeah.
this one, there's a call-up from the bosses here at Bilyonaryo. So I said, yeah.
So this is your calling.
Yeah.
I'll do this for you, Snow, in Tagalog. Pwede mo i-invite yung viewers natin to watch your bagong show dito sa
No, in
Bilyonaryo
English.
News Channel. Ano ba?
Anyway, yeah guys, no, ang aga-aga hindi pa ako nagsisipilyo na amoy nila, no? Pero dinayo ko po ito. It's because I'm all about seriousness dito sa atin pong bagong program. It's going to be a blast. No? Ano ba yung tagline namin? We're going to detonate the biggest sports news for the week this coming Friday. Starting this Friday, June 20, 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. No? It's going to be Snow Bomb. Ayoko nga yung pangalan eh. Kasi I don't want yung personalized sana sa program, pero yun ang gusto ng mga bosses natin. So, ini-invite ko po kayo, sama-sama po tayo, papasabog po tayo, dadagundong po tayo ng mga sports updates this coming Friday dito po sa Bilyonaryo News Channel, 2:30 to 3:30 p.m.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Snow Badua, the host of Snow Bomb, which premieres on Friday, June 20, as you mentioned a while ago, only here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Maraming salamat, Snow. Thank you so much for coming on over. Can't wait to hear how the show goes and, of course, yung content mo na talagang magpapasabog online. Let's see.
We're excited.
Yeah.
But
Thank you so
coming
much.
up, we have the cast of James Gunn's Superman that lands in Manila tomorrow. We've got our very own Man of Steel. Oh my gosh, right here behind you, Pao, ahead of the big event. Superman joins us in the studio to talk about the legacy of the iconic superhero and why he still matters. That's coming up after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching. It's a beautiful day. Superman is a pop culture icon beloved across all generations. And tomorrow, June 19th, the cast of his latest on-screen incarnation, led by the new Clark Kent, David Corenswet, kicks off their global tour right here in Manila. But before all that, we're joined by someone who's been bringing the Man of Steel to life for years, cosplayer Gerard Sison. Hi, Gerard, but I don't want to call you that. Good morning, Superman.
It's a beautiful day.
I am lost in your beautiful blue eyes.
when I met the original Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, that's what she noticed. Your eyes are so blue. They're so blue. Is that real? You know,
Yeah.
she's afraid of contact lenses and she's blind as a bat. So when she was staring at my eyes, wow.
Yeah, so if you guys see me just staring at you, it's the eyes.
That's the reason why.
Right?
Yeah.
But your story is amazing, how you actually started becoming and wearing your Superman costume. Let's talk about that and how you survived a heart attack and what inspired you and how you're inspiring other people as well by being Superman.
When I was a kid, you know, I brought my drawings. I was prep and brought it to school, and my playmates tore it up. And I was brave. I didn't cry or anything, but I said, "Oh, the world's not ready for what you can do." And you grew up like Clark Kent, exactly. You could do these things, but you couldn't show the world. You didn't know, you'd be judged, you know. So I was quiet. Then I grew up with Filmation, Superman, Super Friends, George Reeves, and when I saw the 1978 movie Superman, the movie, oh, I want to be that. I want to be that. But then life continues and you do that. And at 46 and 11 months, I got a heart attack. And from years of my daytime job is doing funerals. I officiate funerals. And all this negative energy, but I was uplifting people, but like a candle, I was burning out.
Yeah.
So it takes its toll. And after that, I said, well, what now? I didn't do, I still do some funerals for special cases, but what now? And it said, what? And I had a Dumbledore costume because we had a fundraiser for our batch, and I wore it, and they said, why don't you wear it in ToyCon? Okay. And so I wore it in ToyCon, and I couldn't get in because people were taking pictures. Hey, Dumbledore, hey, Professor. They were calling me the right name.
Yeah.
And oh boy, and but days before that, Green Lantern came out, and I saw the Lantern Corps. There's a Lantern Corps in the Philippines.
Wow.
They wear Green Lantern costumes, and these were adults. I said, wearing tights. Wow, I wish I had the guts to wear that, but not green, not green. And then I did the ToyCon thing, and just the day before, I looked at a limited edition Christopher Reeve costume from Argentina. It's made from the same fabric that they stopped making already. So they offered #1 to the US, and I said, how much is it? And they told me the price, and would you like to buy it? Oh, I don't have the money for it. I don't have the occasion to wear it. I don't have the body for it. But one afternoon as Dumbledore, hey, I think I pulled this off. So I ordered it. I told my trainer, we're gonna fit into that costume in a few months. And that was snail mail. And oh God, it took 3 months and it came, and I said, I didn't blow my money. And I put it on, and I was so conscious pilot, you know, I could not dress up at home, and you know, people see me. So I checked into the hotel behind SMX, and I said, maybe I'll walk, but it was typhoon, so I didn't. And I went to the basement, I drove there, and 20 bikers were there and said, it's Superman, and everyone started posing. And oh my God, by the time I went up the escalator in SMX, I was Superman. You know, you kind of own the character.
Yeah.
You know, you're not some guy in a costume, and that's why it's called cosplay. You play, you make it real. You know, when children meet you, they'll remember, oh, I met Superman. Oh, you saw the movie? No, I met Superman.
Right.
That's what you want.
I need to interrupt you because we're showing the photo here. that means a lot to you.
Margot Kidder.
That's when she told you your eyes were blue, right?
Her eyes were blue, and she is such a lovely. She's my Lois Lane, but I love all the Lois Lanes.
100%. You know what, Superman? I love the story because you could feel that how putting on the suit gave you almost superpowers. It feels like, at least it made you feel that way.
It's a gift. I mean, at my age, okay, I'm 61 years young. Superman doesn't age. It's a gift. How many senior citizens can put this on and people still want a picture with you?
Yeah.
Right.
That is a gift. You must share it until you can. And maybe when I'm old and gray, maybe I'll be Jarrell. I am Jarrell.
You were. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. But you gotta prepare. You know, I got a pandemic body. You know, from overeating. And last December 30, I made the decision. I'm gonna walk every day until the movie opens, and I did that. 100 days of walking, and 10 pounds went carrying a foreigner. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, it's
I mean, look, it's been an incredible journey. And of course, June 19, tomorrow, is going to be a big day for a lot of Superman fans here in the Philippines, especially with the cast coming here. And we were talking a bit a while ago, it feels like it's such a big deal because not just the cast, the producer, the whole
All of
group is
them.
coming over. I mean, how big is that? First, for the communities that you're a part of, and of course, for all the fans out there who have the opportunity to discover Superman the way you did in a different way.
And to note too, this is the start of their world tour.
The
They're
start.
starting it here in
Yeah.
Manila.
This-
Like instead of LA, London, whatever, they chose Manila. So I don't know why.
Well, I was in the pre-planning stage last year. They consulted us fan groups and how can we make this reception good. And as luck would have it, Trump's tariffs diverted the tour. You know, no China, no India. So,
that's so
and
good.
we happened to apply, and we had a good campaign, and we have a good fan group. And let's see, I'm meeting them tomorrow, and it's gonna be a beautiful day too.
I'm so excited for that, and I'm so excited for you to meet
Yeah.
the fans. But I want to ask you a personal question. You don't have to answer. How long does it take you to put your tights on? How long does it take you to become Clark Kent?
In the olden days, it was 2 hours. Now, I did it in about 45 minutes. This is one of my few costumes I can't dress myself up because there's a concealed zipper there. My mom was awake, so I made her zip.
Yeah, a bit of help.
Aw,
She
thank
couldn't
you,
do
Mom.
it. She couldn't do it.
Oh.
It's just too. You know,
having a hard
I
time.
asked two helpers to do it. It took a while because, you know, it zips up when there's nobody in there. But when it's body fit, it takes a while. It's
Right.
like you're a sausage. So.
That's so funny. It's just great because I remember.
Last weekend, I was Superman, and we had a Star Wars pictorial, and I have this officer uniform, so I had to put on the uniform on top
Underneath.
of, and they posted that Superman is a rebel spy. You know?
That's so good.
But then after that, I took it off, and I was Superman again.
You know, you are.
That's my rebel.
Oh,
there.
there.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
Colonel.
I can't even recognize you
That's
there.
Colonel Duet, the alter ego of Han Solo.
Yeah, it's again 501st. He's a part of that as well.
501st Mine.
For those who don't know what the 501st is, look them up because what they do in terms of Star Wars.
We are
cosplay is
movie
fantastic.
perfect costumes,
Yeah.
you know. We like we jumped out of the screen.
It's so great. I mean, and I've seen some of the premieres of Star Wars here in the country, and they're always
son.
there. Oh, that's so great. Is he into cosplaying as well?
Oh no! That
Oh,
son.
that's son. My bad.
I do have children, not that
When
I
you
know
take a
of.
look, when you take a look, let's not dive into that. But when we take a look at we go back to Star Wars rather, the Superman here. Obviously, it feels like almost James Bond like, wherein when there's a new Superman, people are like, oh, is he the right one? Does he have the Superman qualities? What do you feel are the qualities of Clark Kent, of Superman, that has to come out every time they put him out on screen?
That he's good. That he's for truth, justice, and the world way. Maybe not the American way anymore. I mean, you know, they said he was too good. He's too corny like that. But no, I mean, Captain America for the Marvel Cinema Universe, it worked. You know,
Yeah.
being good works. So I think this is our chance. I mean, there were iterations through the year. Smallville was what if Clark Kent never became Superman? And Superman Returns, what if there was a sequel? And then Man of Steel, what if he was treated like an undesirable alien? We're getting a real Superman now. He's blue, he's red, he's yellow, and he smiles. And he's got a relationship with people.
You know, one of the things that I understand was a debate, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, was whether or not this particular iteration of Superman should be wearing trunks.
Oh, that's the input of David Corenswet himself. You know, because Zack Snyder and James Gunn were debating, and as Snyder said, I couldn't integrate the trunks, and Corenswet said, you know, he's imposing, but when you put the trunks, it humanizes him. It makes him approachable to children, and I thank David Corenswet for bringing it back. It actually breaks down the blue.
Yeah.
When you put it there, and that was the first thing I thought of when I did the Reeve version, you know, because it was a problem for Christopher Reeve himself. That was he veering there or there. It has to be in the same position every time.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
So that was the first thing that I said after I figured that out. Yeah, I can be Superman.
Yeah.
That's
and
funny.
you look great, and you're killing it being Superman.
Thank
And
you.
speaking of Superman, we've had lots of Supermans apart from you. We've had Christopher Reeve, Henry Cavill, Dean Cain, and Tom Welling. Who would you say your favorite Superman
Christopher Reeve is the OG, and I think that's the gift given to me. I don't quite look like him, but I can channel him, I think. I mean, people get that Superman vibe. But the best compliment I got from around the world, which, said, you don't look like Christopher Reeve. You look like Superman. And that stopped me in my track, when you make it real. And sometimes, it's just on you when you're not wearing the costume, people get that vibe. And it's amazing. It's a gift. It has to be shared.
Right.
Yeah. I love the fact that this has brought you around the world. You get such amazing reactions wherever you are. Is there any particular moment wherein you were wearing that costume and you felt like, wow, this is special, this is a core memory that will never go away?
Well, apart from meeting the whole cast and representing Christopher Reeve and Marlon Brando, I was in Russia wearing Red Sun. Red Sun is a what if he was Superman and he went into Russia. I had the gray shirt with the Russianized S symbol, and I was there in Red Square taking photos, but I had a red scarf, and people stopped and had pictures with me.
Wow.
And you're him without wearing the entire costume, and that's amazing. I'll remember that always, because these are Russians. It's
You
a
wouldn't
different
expect
culture.
it.
Right.
It's a different culture, but they kind of knew it's Superman. I think the red boots kind of gave me away. I do have red boots in real life that are wearable.
Okay, yeah. But speaking of real life, because look, you come in, I know you personally, at least a fan of your work, because whenever I would attend any sort of movie premiere, I wouldn't be surprised seeing you. To be quite honest, like in costume, I would see you from far away, like, I know him. And I see you all the time. I'm curious though, who is Gerard Sison out of the costume?
Gerard Sison is actually an introvert. It's funny, I'm actually more Bruce Wayne in real life. I don't want to be bothered, don't say good morning to me. I just want to go invisible. That's the Clark Kent part.
Yeah.
But when you put it on, then you turn it on and you become ambivert, and yes, I'm willing to meet people like it, but the default is actually quiet, brooding, introspective, artistic, a loner. I'm alone without being lonely. I enjoy my company. I like watching movies alone. I like eating alone without merong pinagdadaanan.
Yeah.
It's a, and it kind of the alter ego works. Then when you put it on for people, and it's not a put on. It's still yourself, but a different part of yourself.
I have a slightly personal question to wrap things up here, because obviously that's such a deep thing that you just shared. And what does it mean to you to be able to go into these many characters and to make people happy at the same time? Because you always say like, hey, people have a photo with you, but then what I'm sure you love also is the reactions that they have when they see you. Just what is it that draws you into this over and over again, that makes you put on that suit, makes you take on a different character day in, day out?
If you almost died 15 years ago, then everything is borrowed time. Everything's a gift. And whatever you can give back to people, give it, whoever you are, as yourself, as somebody else, and make that somebody else real for them. I think that's it.
Wow, Superman Gerard, you're so inspiring. We really appreciate you coming this morning. For our viewers who want to find you or want to take a picture with you or reach out to you, where can they find you?
Oh, a little tough, but I usually go to the toy cons. Tomorrow we will be in this Superman Look Up event and in Bridgetown and MOA. And look me up in Super Gerard Sison in Instagram and connect. I've made a lot of friends there, never met before, and then we finally met in person.
Love it. Again, thank you so much for coming this morning. That was Gerard Sison, our very own Superman.
All right, so we have a bit of serious news here coming right up because the Office of Civil Defense aims to help the public better prepare themselves when earthquakes strike. That discussion on Weather HQ right here on It's a Beautiful Day will be when we return. We'll be right back. And welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. This is Weather HQ. Now, as the nation continues to improve its disaster preparedness and resilience, the second quarter nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill is vital in educating and equipping communities to respond effectively to earthquake hazards. Now, to learn more about the details, joining us via Zoom is the spokesperson from the Office of Civil Defense, Director Chris Noel Bendijo. Magandang umaga po. Thank you so much for joining us, Director, and it's a beautiful day.
Hi, Sir Paolo. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Director, we were joking off the air that we wish Superman could help us every time there's an earthquake, especially with the segment we just had right before this. But since we don't have Superman able to help us, can you tell us a bit more about the details of that earthquake drill that's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah, well, the remark about Superman is just really to emphasize the point that we really need all the help when it comes to disaster response and preparations. But to your question, we'll be conducting the second nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill. Today, we'll be having the ceremonial pushing of the button by 9 o'clock for the performance of the dock cover hold. This will be held in Dipolog. The primary event will be held in Dipolog, but of course, we're inviting the public to participate in this nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill. This will be an opportunity for us to assess by ourselves, our companies, our homes, as to what other matters we need to prepare for, what other things we need to do to prepare for earthquakes. So we'll be having this activity today, and hopefully we're inviting everybody to participate in this activity.
When we talk about the earthquake drills, even in the past, the primary objective has normally gone around educating the public or reminding the public of whatever protocol that needs to be taken, especially in the workplaces or even the schools. Are there any different primary objectives that we may have missed in the lead up to this second quarter nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill?
Well, in this simultaneous earthquake drill for the second quarter, we're testing the capabilities, especially in this region. So we have two additional functions and scenarios that we want to try to test the capabilities of. Our heli bucket operations pertaining to fires in the upper regions. And of course, our hazard materials response. We have to be able to test our equipment, whether or not our personnel are familiar with its usage. It cannot be a scenario wherein the disaster strikes and then that's when we figure out how to operate things, how to operate machineries. So these are the two primary functions that we will be focusing on this nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill. And the third one being the relevance and the significance of communication, because there will be participants from our amateur radio enthusiasts. So the establishment of that line of communication, may it be cellular, satellite, or radio, that linkage with the main office here in Camp Aguinaldo, will be establishing that, because that's your ABCs to disaster response: your access, your basic necessities, and of course your your communication. And the sooner you can establish that link, the sooner the national government can respond and augment possible needs of the local.
Director, I want to emphasize the fact that this is nationwide, because at least a lot of people over in the NCR region, they always think about the quote-unquote big one. But the fact that we're doing this nationwide, why do you think that is important, especially when it comes to getting participation for areas outside of the metro?
Well, for one, we really can't predict where the earthquake will strike, what's the magnitude gonna be. So this exercise develops muscle memory. It creates an experience for you from which you can gather your information so that when the disaster strikes, you'd have an idea as to what to do. Because what we're trying to avoid here is that when panic sets in, you are paralyzed because you do not know what to do, or that is the only time that you try to gather information as to what would be the proper response. So by conducting these nationwide simultaneous earthquake drills, we are trying to establish muscle memory. And I think a few weeks back when we had earthquake, I'm happy to observe, we were at the House of Representatives then, we were happy to observe that everybody knew what to do. The personnel knew how to duck cover hold. The security were able to guide the people safely to the exits. And everybody was either covering their head or probably using some hard object to cover their head. So we're getting there. We're developing that muscle memory already. But for us, we need to keep on repeating it so that when the disaster strikes, we really know what to do.
Yeah, but the muscle memory, the repetition, we have had many instances of these national drills in the past. Of course, can we further emphasize the role here of the local government units, the schools, and even the private partners in making sure that these drills are successful? Because for some, I understand, not mandatory, but then highly encouraged for this to happen.
Well, definitely. Any high populated area would be, it would be very much suggested for them to participate in this drill. Your hospitals, your schools, of course, school has already started. No? So our students should have an idea as to what would be the proper response to earthquakes. Our personnel should have an idea as to what their action plans are. Again, we cannot have a scenario wherein the disaster strikes, and that's when we try to study, to gather information as to what to do. Now, the local government, the dynamic there, Paolo, is that they're really the first responders.
Yep.
No? The national government will really have a hard time monitoring real time what's happening on the ground. That's why when we said the ABCs of disaster response would be communication would be C, the ability of the local government to communicate what their needs are on the ground to the national government, the sooner that is done, the sooner the national government can mobilize and perhaps augment the services being provided by the local government. So the LGUs really are the first responders when it comes to disaster response.
Director, I want to ask about the metrics for success in terms of this drill. How will you be able to say that this nationwide drill has been a success in terms of disaster preparedness?
Well, for one, we have invited observers also from the different agencies, including this time around from the Department of Information and Communication Technology, our NTC as well, including our DSWD, because they would be able to observe what's happening during disaster response. No? So, for instance, our DICT can study and evaluate as to what other measures, what other gaps do we need to fill in so that we'd be able to communicate faster with the national government. So in terms of metrics, I think really it's a moving target. No?
Yeah.
But the more we conduct nationwide simultaneous earthquake drills, the more we are able to cover different scenarios, because that's the other thing. When it comes to disaster, you can't really give it a time. It can be morning, it can be evening, sunny or rainy. So we're trying to create more scenarios. We're trying to conduct the earthquake drill in different time periods so that we'd be able to measure our response time, our capabilities, given the different scenarios.
Director, when we talk about how many times we've done drills like this, not just in certain regions, I know you're moving the main event from location to location. Can you tell us a bit more about the new challenges every time there is a drill, and how that actually equips your department in particular to deal with potential scenarios that siguro in the past drills you were not able to anticipate?
Well, Paolo, for starters, the attitude before was really to rely on the government solely. So whenever we conducted drills, it was just really the private sector looking at the government as if waiting for instructions on what to do. But we're very happy that of recent, we've had this more participation from the private sector. We've had different accreditations, volunteers, from your ride-hailing apps. Of course, our Red Cross is still there. This time around, we have a group of amateur radio enthusiasts. The realization and the motivation to be part of disaster response is developing. No? So we're very happy as to that aspect, because now we can really rely also on the private sector. We've always had this perspective that when it comes to this magnitude of disaster, the line between government and the private sector becomes blurred. So we're happy that there is this development of this attitude towards being active members of the disaster response world. No? So that's one. The second would be, in terms of perhaps it's just really a matter of mindset. Whenever we conduct drills, we still have those few individuals who would take selfies, make memes out of it, without really realizing the significance of the drill. So really, it's we're still banking on our communications, so that we can really emphasize that this is something that we need to take seriously.
Director, before I let you go, because we're running out of time, how can people find out more about the drill and, of course, reach out if they are interested in participate, and, of course, educate themselves when it comes to disaster preparedness?
Yes, you can visit the website of the Office of Civil Defense. The announcements as to our nationwide simultaneous earthquake drills are there. You may also reach us through our emails. If you would want to participate in any manner, please feel free to visit any of our websites, including the NDRRMC.
He's the director, Chris Noel Bendijo, and thank you so much for sharing this information and of course important reminders when it comes to the upcoming nationwide simultaneous earthquake. Maraming salamat po. Another pleasure having you here.
Thank you and good morning.
All right, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Mo, back to you.
Thank you, Pao Pao. Now from the weather to the stars, let's find out if today's gonna be your lucky day. Resident morning hype man and feng shui master Hans Kua has the answers in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito po ang horoscope for Wednesday, June 18. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, huwag baliwalain ang minor health issues. Agad itong aksyonan. Burgundy at 8. Punta naman tayo kay Year of the Ox. Isang magandang usapan kay partner ang magpapalalim sa inyong relasyon. Azure at 9. Kay Year of Tiger naman tayo, isang bagong challenge sa trabaho ang magpapalabas ng iyong kakayahan. Fuchsia at 1. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, may good news na nag-aantay sa trabaho. Caramel at 5. Kay Dragon naman tayo, maging maingat sa mga salitang binibitawan upang maiwasan ang away, gulo o misunderstanding. Copper at 4. Kay Snake naman tayo, bigyan pansin ang mental health. It matters too. Mint at 7. Ito naman, Year of the Horsey. Stay determined dahil malapit nang ma-accomplish ang target mo. Crimson at 2. Kay Year of the Ship naman tayo, stay hydrated, uminom ng sapat na tubig upang maiwasan ang dehydration. Gray at 3. Sa mga Year of the Monkey, ang isang matamis sa sorpresya ay maaaring magpaganda ng mood ni partner. Siyan at 6. Sa mga Year of the Rooster naman, it's a good time to show your skills sa trabaho. Go, go, go! Purple at 8. Kay Year of the Dog naman tayo, mag-ingat sa mga aksidente, lalo na kung naglalakad o nagmamaneho. Mustard at 5. Kay Year of the Piggy naman, mag-ingat sa overspending. Mas mainam na magtipid muna. Platinum at 9. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan ang horoscope of the day dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans Kua.
Thank you, Master Hans Kua, for our horoscope of the day. Now, I think we've seen this film before, but we didn't like the ending. On today's Love Hacks, a girl falls in love with her best friend, but she's not sure if he's straight. Now, let's hear this Delulu love story on today's Love Hacks. Take it away, Coach V.
Love hacks, we got you. No need to be sad. Love hacks, we got you.
Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, your love life strategist, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Today's episode, Delulu but adorable. We're talking about one of the most emotionally confusing, mentally spiraling, and shockingly common love dilemmas. Are you ready for this? What if I'm in love with my gay best friend? And let's not judge, okay? What kind of woman who falls for gay best friend? Sino yan? Actually, that was me in college. And probably half the girls watching right now. Because you know naman, our gay BFFs, they're sweet, they're stylish, they smell nice. Carry your bag, understand your hormones better than your OB-GYN, and make you feel safe while still giving that tiny bit of tension. So, let's decode this fuzzy friendship before you start imagining wedding hashtags, okay? Now, Mo?
Let me just apologize for my Tagalog before I read this. Okay. Parang nagkaka-feelings na ako for my gay friend. I'm curious if my gay friend, 28M gay, has romantic feelings for me, 26F. I might have misinterpreted his actions towards me, kaya ako nagkaka-feelings. I don't know, in love na yata ako. I'm not even 100% sure if he's gay. It's my first time to have someone in my life na sobrang cute. As a person in general, physically attractive, huggable, and sobrang clingy and caring and dependable niya. Nagkaka-feelings ako when he volunteered to process my documents for me. I'm used to doing things on my own as an independent person. Kaya to have someone like that in my life, it's such a nice thing. There was one time he even offered to take my backpack because I complained it was too heavy, but I insisted na wag na. I mean, how cute can this ever get? He directly expresses that he misses me too whenever I missed out on our barkada hangouts. Hi, how I wish he likes me too romantically. He mentioned before na he dated a girl during college and nang hinayang siya kasi nagka-fallout sila. I don't know the rest of the story. The way he speaks, the gay pop culture and lingo, alam na alam niya eh. I don't know, I mean, good for him if he found his identity, but how I wish he's straight. For the gays here, what are the odds na delulu lang ako? Siyempre, ayoko siya i-ask directly, pero iniisip ko, try ko kahit pa-joke lang. Anyway, if mabasa mo ma'am, or mabasa mo man, hi! Ha 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 ha!
My gosh, the hi at the end got me like, girl, are you flirting with the entire LGBTQ community? My gosh. By the way, good job, love.
Hi! We made it.
Eto na yan. Yeah, we did. Now, my loves, let's unpack what's really going on here. Hindi lang to crush. This is what psychologists call emotional transfer. So here's how it goes. Now, you've met someone who's emotionally available, physically affectionate, not trying to sleep with you, and still makes you feel like the main character. Of course, you're going to feel something. Your heart's not delulu. It's just touch-starved. Ouch, sakit na, touch-starved. Let's check on science. No? Dr. Lisa Diamond's work on sexual fluidity and emotional bonding proves that when emotional closeness gets mixed with unmet romantic needs, attraction can happen, even if it's one-sided. But loves, just because he's sweet doesn't mean he's straight. Let's not confuse the presence of affection with the possibility of romance. So, how do you discern when a relationship is just platonic? Kwento ko lang, loves, ha? You know, I just watched this recent beautiful film that stopped me in my tracks. It's about this almost perfect girl, stylish, accomplished, smart, who fell deeply for someone she thought was a man. They had chemistry kasi, connection, everything that it made it feel like fate. But eventually, he revealed he was a lesbian man, assigned female at birth, but identifying as a man. And the most beautiful part, loves, she stayed. Because for her, love wasn't biology. It wasn't about the shell. It was about the soul. So she didn't fall in love with his body. She fell in love with how he made her feel. She fell in love with his truth. And that, loves, is what we call unconditional love. Loving someone not because they fit your fantasy, but because you honor their reality. Eto na, my loves. Mo and Pao, have you had experiences wherein you fell for somebody na dapat hindi ka na in love?
I've never had that happen to me. I have a lot of gay best friends, but I've never reached that where I wanted like a romantic relationship, because for me, they're just like a sister or a brother, whatever they may be, right? So for me, I've never reached that point. So I'm not really sure how I would go about it after what you talked about. What about you, Pao?
I think kasi minsan it's about platonic, you know, when things are platonic and not necessarily kasi it could also happen between straight people.
Right.
That when you have that conversation, when you talk about it, and it's just like feeling mo may something pero talaga wala.
Pero wala,
diba? I mean, like kapag loaded lahat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have I experienced something like that? I think perhaps, yeah. But obviously, I don't think I've crossed that line.
Pero nagwapuhan ka na sa isang gay man before?
No, that is a... How do I say this? It's like, you can acknowledge someone looks good.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's it. I mean,
it.
like, you know,
Right.
nothing,
Ang pogi
nothing
kasi
like
talaga
that.
ng iba.
No, honestly, I've had like a lot of instances where I see a guy and I'm like, oh, they're so good looking, but they're gay.
They're gay,
Yeah,
yeah.
which, I mean, that's okay.
Yeah,
The-
no, to
the
be fair,
gays are hot.
For
Let me just
for
say.
guys and for guys to lesbians also, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
All right, my loves. Well, if you're like Coach V, who fell for her college gay best friend, ganun. And just like the Reddit sender, eto na ang iyong kit to survive this gay best friend thing, all right? Number 1, acknowledge mo lang yung love, but also the limit. Huwag mo nang i-assume that he has feelings for you unless otherwise stated. Number 2, don't joke confess. That's just a trap disguised as kilig. You'll be left on scene with, char. Gaganunin ka lang. Number 3, stop waiting for a plot twist. It may never happen. This isn't a Wattpad fanfic. It's real life, and he's really gay. Number 4, value the bond, but don't write the fan fiction in your head. Your heart deserves a love that reciprocates, not appreciates. And finally, 5, get some space if you need to heal. Even the strongest women sometimes need to friend zone themselves for sanity. Loving your gay best friend doesn't make you broken. It makes you brave. But chasing a connection that cannot bloom isn't romantic. It's resistance to reality. That's it for today, loves. This is Coach V giving you real talk about real love. DM me your love dilemmas at Dating Coach V, and let's not just talk about love. Let's solve it. And by the way, to the dalagang Filipina ladies with soft hearts who cannot resist the charm of their gay BFFs, paganda na lang tayo para maligawan tayo ng iba. Today's outfit, by the way, is from Kandama Collective because kahit nasasaktan ka, at least fashionable ka. See you again tomorrow here on It's a Beautiful Day. Love you.
That's so funny.
Yung theory ko, this is actually a surprisingly personal topic to Coach V.
I know because she said and I felt it.
No,
I felt
na-feel
the
ko yung
genuinity.
Ay, na-feel nyo ba? Oh my God.
Ba't yan, Coach V?
Oo, matagal na yun sa college kasi takot kasi ako sa guys. So I feel like the safest bet was to get to know like a gay man.
Yung gay best friend mo.
Oh, gay best friend. Parang I feel so comfortable kasi gay eh. They're not gonna,
Right.
stuff to you. Pero yun pala. Minsan sumusobra. Kaya
that is
back
so
to
funny.
reality tayo, loves.
Oh, that is so funny.
At least you look great
I think
doing
this is
it.
the first time nga na very personal kay Coach.
Actually,
One
this
of
is the very
times,
first
yeah.
time na this is about you. Normally, si Ann.
Normally, it's about Ann by
Normally,
accident.
it's about Ann by accident.
Yeah, we miss you, Anne.
We miss you, Ann, wherever you are around the world.
Yeah, come
Oo.
back soon.
Yeah, keep on smiling for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it for us this Wednesday. Coach V, maraming salamat. We always appreciate you being here and, of course, sharing all of that. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us as well on this rainy day.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Wednesday ahead. Join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day.